Happy Saturday, everyone. We are going to be installing 13-inch Cobra brakes on SN95 spindles on my Fox today. So these are the original 4-lug, small 9-inch, 8-inch rotors up front. We're getting rid of all this stuff. We'll be installing SN95 spindles, and I'm going to be installing brakes. We'll be installing these guys here. This will be the SVE Cobra style calipers. So we'll be installing these guys here, the SVE Cobra style calipers. We'll be installing these with braided lines, and we'll be putting them on the spindles. We'll be putting the Stop Tech slotted rotors on. So we're going to put big brakes onto the front end of this car, and this will wrap up, hopefully, get the big chunk of my project done for the 5-lug 4-wheel disc conversion. I've got the master cylinder ready along with the lines to put into here, so we'll have to bleed the master cylinder, get everything bled. Here are the braided lines we'll be putting up front. And yeah, so I'm going to get some light over here so we can see a little better, and we'll get to work. So the first thing we're going to do is start taking apart the stock components. I almost forgot to mention, at the same time we're going to be putting the SVE lowering springs in. So the back's in, the back's pretty much done, ready to go. I've got the springs in, everything's wrapped up in the back except for the emergency brake cable and gear oil. So we'll be doing this on the front. At the same time I'll be putting these springs in. So T20 Torx to get these stock calipers off. Okay, so remove the pins, remove the caliper, and I'm also going to let's go ahead and remove the brake line now. That. Okay. Now we can remove the caliper. Okay, sway bar end links are, what is this guy here? 13 mil. Yeah, so to get the sway bar off, let's just get a crescent wrench in here. There's a flat spot in the center. That holds the end link in place. You'll just spin it off like this. Alright. Okay, sway bar is removed. Okay, 19 mil. We're going to spin this off the quick way. That's what I'm talking about. Zero! Like that.
I remember that gun, Daddy. I remember that gun.
That's right.
I remember it.
You want to do the other side?
Sure. Can I help?
Yeah, let me get the other. Let's go to the other side. I gotta get the cotter pin off the other side and spin off the ball joint. Don't touch that grease, buddy. That's the blue Monroe shock. Guys, we're going to want to put the jack now underneath and support the weight of the spring. Obviously, once you undo the strut, the lower control arm is going to want to drop down, and you don't want to take these off without weight on the spring, without any kind of on it, so we got the spring supported. I believe it's a 13/16. We're going to stick on this here. Let me see about a 13/16 wrench I can get. Okay, 15/16 on the back, 13/16 on the front. On the bolt. So 15/16 on the nut. One. Make sure we save these. The bottom one's a little bit more difficult. You want to reverse it, so we want to get the wrench in here. The struts now just attached. Spindles hanging on the lower ball joint. Now we just need to get the spring out. So it's already a lowering spring. It may just pop out. So let's go ahead and lower the jack and stand back. Okay. Try to get the lower ball joint out. So in here we got to go ahead and get the cotter pin out and spin this off and hopefully knock this off without getting a puller. We may have to go to the store. I'm guessing likely we're going to have to go get some sort of a puller for this. So yeah, let's see what happens. Yay. That was easy. I love when it's easy like that. Alright guys, let's see what size we're going to need here on the lower ball joint. 15/16 maybe. It is a 15/16. Okay, let me get a 15/16 impact. Okay, there's a plastic shield, dust shield back here that won't allow the spindle to come off the lower ball joint with the rotor attached. So I think I'm gonna have to actually replace or pull the rotor off, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Is this thing double cotter pinned? What is wrong with people?
Daddy?
Yeah, bud.
I was calling you like 4 times.
Why don't you just come out here? This thing's got 2 cotter pins in it. Man, what's wrong with people?
Daddy, can you do some?
Okay, this shouldn't be too tight. Okay. There's a bearing and a washer. Okay. Bye-bye, tiny rotor. Alright, it's gonna be looks like a 3/8 here, guys, for this dust shield. Seal. Dust shield removed. There we go. The passenger side is off. Excuse me, passenger side is off. Time to repeat. What are you doing, son?
Well, I'm sitting here.
Yeah. So, I've taken both the spindles off on both sides. And we're to the point now where we can bolt them on. However, I don't want to. It does not make sense to bolt on a clean up spindle on those ball joints. The ball joints are pretty torn up. The boots are gone. They're not loose. They're tight, so they're not worn out. They're just gross. But let me show you something about these ball joints anyways. You probably know whenever you're doing a SN95 spindle conversion on a Fox, or I'm sorry, you know, an 80, excuse me, 79 to 93 Fox, the upper ball joints, the lower ball joint size is longer than it is on an SN94, SN95 spindle. And because of that, you'll have a lot of stick out. So what's going to happen is the ball joint's going to stick out about right here. And what guys are doing is stacking up washers to make up for the difference, and then tightening down your castle nut. So that's one way to do it. Or you can do it the right way and just replace the ball joints with a good quality Moog 94 Mustang lower ball joints, which is what I'm going to do. And I found some locally. They're expensive. I think they're like 60 something each, 64 each. But in my case, I think it's worth it here because I won't have to use washers to make up the difference in the extra thread on the ball joints that are on the 86 here. So guys, that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to also rent a press so we can get these things pressed out. So I'll get a press these out, and we'll replace the ball joints with a quality Moog for a 94 Mustang. That correct ball joint will have the correct length for the spindles that we're going to bolt onto it. Right, buddy? Mm-hmm. So I guess we're going to go to O'Reilly's, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get up here.
Don't fall. Don't hurt yourself. $130 later, we've got ball joints for the 94 Mustang. These are SN95 ball joints. So here they are. They're Moog, so at least we got quality ones. Those are the castle nut. We got 2 of them, and it's for the spindles right here. Now we gotta get them off. So I did have to rent a ball joint press with that. And that was a rental from O'Reilly's for another $115 deposit. So for $260, 2 ball joints and a press that I will return, obviously. But good gosh, this thing is nickel and diming me. It's killing me. But there's no point in going this far and not replacing the ball joints. So let's bust open this tool, see if we can't press these old ones out. Is that cold? Oh, you're cold. Smoothie. Cool shoes. Okay, so use this kit. Find the sleeve that fits around the bottom, the ball joint. In our case, it's this guy here. So this will fit around on the bottom of it. You want to find the collar that this thing slides over. So this one right here, like that. And then this will fit underneath it, like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's do this. Let's go ahead and get it on the car. I'll show you.
Okay, Daddy.
All right, buddy. So Connor is learning here, aren't you? This is my little helper. Say hi.
Hi, camera.
Hi,
How
camera.
you doing today?
And are you learning how to work on cars?
Mm-hmm.
Are you learning how to work on Mustangs?
Yeah, but Daddy showed me right now.
Okay.
But as I get bigger, I can do this.
You can just alright, so that is my boy right there. Okay. Okay, so this is going here, let's move this back here.
Okay, Daddy. Now what do we do?
Okay, so like I was saying, this sleeve
Uh-huh.
fits on the bottom of the ball joint.
Oh, yeah, it does.
That'll go here. So we have to take, we see this, Connor? We have to take this off. We have to push this out.
But how? How you do it?
Show you. So that sits on the bottom of it, and this big claw.
Oh, that's huge.
Huge.
I can't
Now we're gonna put. Thanks, buds. Alright, guys. 23 millimeter is the lucky choice here. That fits. Alright, Connor. Close your ears. Here goes nothing.
Huh?
I think it just popped out. That's how you pop it out. Boom.
I guess that doesn't work.
It works, son.
It does?
Sure did. Work.
Good eye, but I just popped out.
Yep. Look at that, buddy.
Fits.
Ow! Finger. There you go.
Can you pinch yourself?
Yes. Get the guy. One ball joint out. Okay, back up a little bit. Okay, guys, let's do the passenger side. Bless that thing's heavy. Okay.
Uh-oh, Dad.
Okay, so just like that one.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down. Okay, Dad. Now what do we do?
Buddy, we do this. Ooh, we need a calcium nut. Calcium nut on backwards. We're gonna put it all the way up the top right here, so it's flush. Now we're gonna take this part here and ideally, what you want to do, there you go. Slip the calcium nut right in the center of that. Now we're going to take this.
Where's that nut?
The calcium nut's on top here. We want to get it right in the center.
If that kind of nuts, the nut goes on with the...
Okay, you ready? Alright.
Oh no, you just shoot me.
Okay, here we go, buds. Boom.
Wow.
Hey, we got trash, bud. Look at that.
Good. You got trash and not good.
That's right. Look at that, buddy. That was nice and easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Clean this up a little bit, and I think what we want to do next, Con Man, is we'll put the ball joint back in now. Really be easier with two hands for sure, and I can show you why. The way it works is this goes on the bottom of the ball joint like this. The sleeve goes over the top, and this sits on it like that, and then the whole thing crimps together and pushes in. And you make sure you put the, obviously this one, because that's where the ball joint will go through as it compresses and gets pressed into it. I tried this with a hand wrench and with a breaker bar, and it was too much, especially if it's this low. So it does take some wrestling, but I had to use the impact to get it all the way flush the seat to the bottom of the control arm. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get the arm over here. All right. this guy right here. So it's going to go in reverse this way. Pushed it out. This is going to push it in. So I want to get the ball joint out. Okay. Try to straighten it up a little bit here. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is, sits up on it like this. Make sure you don't press on the copper part there. That's just where the grease goes. You will crush this and ruin your ball joint. So you want to hit the steel around the edge. That's what this is for. So that mates all around the surface and the steel. And I'll sit up just like this. Like I said, the ball joint is to the top of that. This is where another hand helps because it's kind of hard to get this on and tighten it, if you see what I'm saying, with one hand. This took me a few tries. I already did the driver's side. Took me a good hour, probably, or 45 minutes, just because of the different methods I was trying. So back it off a little bit. Okay, you want to make sure you hand tight it so it doesn't fall. Okay, so that's hand tight, and now obviously it's hard to get the impact down here on the ground. I'll show you what I'm talking about, because this is literally up against the ground right now. So you have to do this with the spring out. Obviously, this would be if you had a lift, you could do this, but if this control arm's too far down, you would have a problem. So with the spring out, this is a little bit easier to do. So I'm gonna force. And this would probably be easier to take this off as well. I'm going to force this up as high as I can so we can get the impact over it. Oh, that's the wrong socket. My bad. Hang loose, guys. Okay, 23 mil. Jam the, which is on 3. Okay, and I see it, it's up against the metal, and there goes nothing. Alright, so it is bottomed out. Switch the switch to reverse. Okay. And that's how you get a new ball joint in. So it is flush. Looks even all the way around. Okay, so that's how we know it's in. So now we'll put the boot on and the Zerk fitting. Like that. Okay. So the Zerk fitting's in, both ball joints are on. We gotta get the spring, and here's the problem with these springs. The ones I got, the SV springs, I cannot put these in by hand. The other ones I got were so freaking low that I can just take and put them in and out with my hands here. So I'm gonna have to get a spring compressor. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. We're gonna have to go, we're gonna take this rental tool back to O'Reilly's because I'm done with the ball joint press. I'm gonna clean up because I've got grease and stuff everywhere right now, and then I'm gonna get a spring compressor. So that's next. We're gonna put the springs in, and then it'll be time to bolt on the spindles. Yep, and then we'll bolt on the struts. So one step closer. Okay guys, it is time to use a coil spring compressor. So I got the coil spring compressor. Got the other side on just to make sure that it would work, and it was a pain in the rear because this is so long that it doesn't give you a lot of room to compress it and then actually get the tool out, you know, from the rod out from the bottom of the hole there, and then, you know, slide this out the side. I'll show you guys how to do this. This is the coil spring compressor I'm using. It is a pretty heavy duty one. It has the fork that goes in on the bottom part that holds the spring from the sides, and then this tool goes in right there, and these latch on and you compress it. So what you have to remember when you do this is to make sure that you can get this tool out, or actually make sure you get the spring in and it's not, you know, bumping up against the arm, or if it's, you know, going towards the back, you can't get it out. So just keep in mind that this pigtails have to go forward. Now another thing is, you see I don't have the isolators on. So I know I need the isolators. I don't want to get it flat, but guys, I'm telling you, I put the isolators on the other one, and even with a compressed, the spring would not go in. Maybe it's left, you know, best left to professional. But I did go ahead and wrap one end of the spring here with the shrink tubing, and I'm going to leave the flat end bare up against the body. I guarantee you I'm going to have some road noise, and I guarantee you I'm probably going to regret this. But let's just see how it is. I need to get the spring in, but I'm also concerned that those isolators are going to make the spring just too tall and lift up the car more than I want in the front to begin with. So it's trial and error, and unfortunately with the stuff we do, a lot of it is trial and error. There's just no way for me to tell the stance of the car until I get it on all fours. But like I said, the top isolator, the urethane one I have, is so thick that I couldn't get the spring in and compress it safely anyways, even with the spring already compressed. So the other side is on, and it is without the top isolator. So we're going to get it in. Let's show you how this works, and like I said, it's a pain in the butt, but I'll do my best to show you guys how we're going to do it, and we'll get it in for sure. Okay, so to obviously keep in mind, this is the top, that's the bottom. This is going to sit directly into the spring perch right here. So it sits like that. So we are going to compress the spring. Now what I did try already, you know, if you try to actually go into here, and by the way, look how quiet it is. See? That's pretty good stuff. But let me show you. If we try to get this in here without the compressor, like I said, I can get it awfully close. But it's not going to happen. Trust me on this. So we're going to have to compress it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is set the tool in place. And we're going to hook it on the most upper part of the spring that I can. It's going to be probably right here. guys, when you do this, don't stand in front of the spring. Don't have anybody in front of the spring. And make sure you don't get your Zerk fitting. As it comes up, it should help seat the spring and the perch. Alright, this is where you kind of stand back. Alright. Okay, so she's tight. Sorry, battery ran out there. Alright. Ball joints on, let's go ahead and get the strut in. Get some grease in it, and then we'll put the hubs on, and maybe put the spindles. Put the rotors, calipers on. Fuck this thing. Just filled it up with grease. Put some more grease in the damn thing. Okay, when you know you got grease spin out of the bottom of the boot, it's full. In fact, it's been doing that for a while, so I think I may have overfilled it, but it'll just spew out. Better too much than not enough. Let's go get the hub on. Let's see here, the hub. Got the new Timken hub here. Let's get a little layer of grease just on the spindle here, help it slide on. Okay. Okay. I know this is nice and clean, so why is it being stubborn here? There we go. Okay, we'll get the spindle nut. Okay guys, as far as this torque on this, I've got a torque wrench that goes to 150, I'm sorry, it goes to 200 pounds. You're supposed to do these at like 215 to 230 or 250, I believe, foot-pounds. So I'm gonna actually start the nut until it bottoms out, and there's no, no more wiggle in it. And then we'll get the torque wrench on it. Alright, so that's 200. good snug with it. Alright, see the rotors on this guy. Now there is a left and right rotor. We are working on the right hand side and it is marked right, so here comes the right rotor. And let's spin on a lug here just to hold it in place while I put the calipers on. God, this thing is massive. That's a big rotor. Looks way better. Hopefully it'll perform just as good as it looks. Okay, so it comes with a nice little warning sticker or tag. Basically says if you strip these, we're not responsible because these are aluminum. So we won't strip them. Basically says avoid your warranty. But like I said, each side has its own correct way to fit here. And it is like this. Okay, so we'll get this one on here. Okay, now it's going to kind of carry this over to the wheel. Make sure that this is going to go, you know, the correct direction. Obviously it is. I can tell just from this side you want to go up towards the bleeder. The bleeder is always at the top, so you know that you bleed the air out. That's how you also know which caliper is left and right. The bleeder will be on the bottom on one side and on top on the other. You want to make sure it's the side that's on the top. So the bleeder is always pointed up. Okay, so just sliding it in. You can see that the line is going to be perfect for going right behind the strut there. So that's good to go. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So that's the original brake line fitting, obviously coming out of the firewall here. This is the fitting that comes from the new Russell braided lines. It will not fit in here. So now I'm like, oh, well, that's probably what they gave me the adapters for. But I said, you know what, let me just test it. I went to the bench and tried this fitting on the old rubber line and verified that it is identical to this one right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So testing this fitting in the rubber line that I just literally pulled off the car, that fits right in perfectly. So it's like, alright, no big deal. Let me try it on the braided line. I was like, alright, let me try this on the braided line. Fits perfect. So I was like, okay, so maybe it's just me. So I brought this back to the other braided line and I could not get this to go in. Turns out that the other braided line does in fact need these adapters. So it's kind of interesting. So they sent me a set of braided lines and one of them needs the adapter and one of them doesn't. So whatever. So this one's got a smaller fitting, the other one's got the correct fitting. So on this one we're going to have to put in this adapter here. So anyways, that's why it wouldn't fit. So one side is a smaller thread than the other side. Maybe that's just a manufacturing, I guess not defect, but it was just a they shipped the wrong one. And at least there is a left and right side because the correct sides that go on to the caliper. The banjo side is correct. It's just this side was different. But luckily I've got the parts to fix it. So Okay guys, so this is all nice and tight. I got that crimped down. We got the clip back in. So hopefully the brake line's good to go, and we'll make sure there's no leaks. Okay guys, the brakes are buttoned up. Got all the bolts tight to the calipers. Got the bolts tight to the back of the banjo bolt here. Got the bolt or the brake fittings tight. So that's on both ends. So next thing we need to do is put in the master cylinder and hook up the lines to the distribution block. Now you have to bleed these guys. I've been reading the instructions here. Obviously it's important you bench bleed to get all the air out of this master cylinder. You're supposed to have sort of plugs, like solid plugs that you can screw in here. I don't have that, and the kit doesn't come with it, which is stupid. I think all master cylinders, if they want you to bleed them, need to come with solid kits. So I made my own. I got some old lines here that I bent over and hammered close. So we'll get these tied on. This will go in the bigger hole here. Oh, it looks bad. And then this will go into there. So this will essentially just cap it. Okay guys, it is bench bled. You definitely know when it gets there because this gets rock hard and only moves in about that much right there. So it's pretty hard just after that movement right there. And I did have leaks around my fittings here. I ended up having to crimp the crap out of them some more. Okay, for the lines that go from the distribution block to the master cylinder, this is the Maximum Motorsports kit for a 80 to 86 distribution block to an SVT 94 to 95 GT master cylinder. So they are in place here. I don't have them tight, but I'm just having them sitting in place. I figured it'd be easier to go ahead and get them in the car since I won't have a lot of access to get these threads started. But the threads are started. I'm going to try to swing these out of the place a little bit like this. And we're going to try to slide the master cylinder in to see if we can't get these to line up. We can start tightening it down. So it's coming together. We're gonna get the brakes bled. So not fun. I'm not even gonna video it because you've all done it, and it's time consuming, and it's gonna just take a lot of space in the car. So I'm gonna crack open the bleeders on all four wheels. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to get as much just gravity fed as I can. And it's not going to work though, I don't think, because there's no fluid in the system whatsoever. So I may just do one wheel at a time. Either way, I gotta bleed it. I have a speed bleeder or a mighty back. I'm going to try to get some of the fluid through all the wheels, just get fluid to the wheels, and then I'm going to do the old school method. Have somebody sit in the car, push the pedal. I always find that bleeding the brakes just from the master cylinder like that is the best. I tend to get a little bit of air in the lines whenever I use the mighty back. So. Another thing I do have to do before I forget, there's a 10mm wrench stuck down here. I gotta find it. That's one thing, and I also have to put the emergency brake cable on. For whatever reason, I completely forgot about that. We need to put the emergency brake cable on, but moving on. Sunday night. Guys, that wraps it up. Hey, listen, I'm gonna call it a video because there's nothing else I can do tonight. And the next thing is just gear oil, tires, and driving it out of here. So next time you see me, it'll be on the ground. So pray for me, hope that there's no major issues, and make sure there's no, I don't know, suspension problems, binding, I don't know. We changed a lot of things on this car since the last time it was on the road. So we'll see. But guys, thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. I'm sorry this video was probably so long. I'll try to edit it. And I appreciate you sticking with me. I appreciate you watching me, and I'm glad you're interested in what I'm doing. So stay tuned, because there's going to be more and more to come on this car. And yeah, it's exciting. Can't wait.